What is good, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about the topic of going with your gut in trading. Okay, this topic has come to my mind a lot recently because of a decision I made in a trade. Okay, so basically, I'll start off the video by saying the other day I was in a trade. I took the trade based off my rules, my strategies. I saw it as a decent setup to take. I liked it, used proper risk and stuff, etc. Price was chopping around, wasn't giving me any volume, no movement. I close out the trade. The very next candle, and I mean the very next candle, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. The very next candle, we shoot to my take profit. So much volume, and there was no news. It wasn't the switch over to a new hour candle. Like, just a random candle just went whoop, just all the way to my take profit right after I closed the trade at break even. Okay. So sure, that was a sucky feeling, and that's happened to me plenty of times. I'm not saying that's the first time it's ever happened to me. I've been trading for years now, so that's happened to me plenty of times. But I was thinking about it. Sure, this is a sucky feeling, but I really sat down and I really outlined things and I really noted things, and I said to myself, my goal as a trader, whether I'm on a prop firm or a personal account, is to protect my capital. Okay? So I made a decision that, yeah, it sucked to see price go all the way to take profit, but I stood 10 toes on my rules, my strategy, my confluences, went with my gut and realized, okay, a part of my strategy, a part of the way I like to see trades play out for the way my strategy and my confluences work, I'm not seeing things how I want to see them right now. So in order to protect my capital, in order to make a decision based off the way my strategy is outlined and I do not break, I'm going to close this trade at break even. Sure, the very next candle, it shoots all the way to take profit like I just described before. But what if it shot all the way down to stop loss and I just lost money knowing, okay, you know what? That trade was not playing out how I wanted it to. I should have closed that trade, and if I would have closed that trade, I wouldn't have lost money. There's also that outcome. For every action in trading, there's a reaction, okay? That's just life. Just because price shot all the way to take profit doesn't mean the next one's not going to shoot all the way to stop loss, and you could have avoided it by simply just saying, okay, you know what? I didn't like the way that was going. That's not the way trades are supposed to play out for my strategy. I'm done. Jerome Powell speaks this week. There's FOMC of some sort this week. So yeah, there's going to be things like that occur. What I really want you guys to learn from this video is that stand 10 toes on your rules and strategy. Create those rules, create that strategy, create those entry and exit confirmations and say, you know what? If this occurs, I'm getting into the trade. If this occurs, I'm getting out of the trade. This is what I need to see for the trade, and go with your gut. Do not break those rules. Do not break those confluences and certain strategy points that you have made for yourself. Okay, going with your gut because you have developed a strategy for yourself and something that works for you at the end of the day is always going to save you in the long run. Sure, like today when I closed myself out of this trade and it went to take profit, sure, that's a short-term thing that I see and I'm like, dang, that kind of sucks. I could have made a good amount of money off that trade. Okay, sure, that's a short term, but in the long term, compound how many times you go with your gut and make your decisions and see if it saved you or lost you. I guarantee you, most of you, the way you trade your strategy, if you just go with your gut on certain situations, it'll save you in the long run. Okay, going with your gut is an extremely important thing in life too. I mean, when it comes to relationships as well. I mean, you know, you might have a girlfriend or a boyfriend that's not treating you how you want to be treated, and you need to say, okay, you know what, this is not for me. And you need to go with your gut and make a decision to get out of the relationship. Maybe you have a job at a certain, corporation. You know what, this doesn't align with my morals. I don't like the way they treat their employees, etc. And you need to go with your gut and potentially, if it's in your heart, to quit the job, etc. So, there's a lot of situations in life that require going with your gut, not just in trading. But in trading, is it extremely important because this is a trading channel, so I'm obviously going to talk to it and relay it to trading. But yeah, guys, I kind of just wanted to go on here and give you guys a short talk of what has been on my mind because, you know what, that did happen to me today. And yeah, it's a sucky thing to see. It really is. But just know, I guarantee you, like I said before, if you just go with your gut in the long run, it'll save you more money than you lose. That is just my opinion. I've been trading for some years now, and that is just what I've seen. I know there's no real way to track, oh, how many trades did I close at break even, and how was I feeling on this day, etc. Did price come back and hit break? It's hard to track all that stuff, but just a mental, notebook I keep in my head, I guess you could say, a mental list. It's like, okay, well, if I remember correctly, this day I was feeling like this. It's something you just have to acquire over time. But the basis of this video is to just go with your gut, man. Just go with your gut. I'm telling you, that's the reason people say create rules, create strategies, create confluences, and don't enter or exit trades unless those rules or confluences show up, because that means that you are standing 10 toes on that rule and strategy. You are going with your gut and you are not breaking your rules, okay? Because we all know what breaking rules leads to. It leads to blown accounts, lots of lost money. It leads to terrible habits, etc. I know it's hard, but mentally, if you can create those rules and strategies, if you can create those confluences, those entry and exit criterias, and say to yourself, okay, no matter what happens today, I'm following those rules. That also attributes and ties into going with your gut, because you have to go with your gut on certain trades that tie into your rules and strategies. So I know I sound like a broken record, but I did just want to get on here and really help you guys understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Go with your gut. Don't be afraid in trading. If you're scared to lose money, you're never going to make money, etc. But you have to understand. You have to use proper risk. You have to go with your rules and strategies, and you have to go with your gut. Maybe actually, something I didn't bring up, maybe you miss out on a trade. Okay, maybe you see your setup compiling onto the charts and you're like, okay, should I take this trade? But you know what? I don't like how this is. We have news in this certain amount of time. So you know what? Just to allocate, or not, sorry, just to maintain my capital, I'm going to hold off on this trade. I don't like the way something's printing. I'm going to hold off on it. And then maybe that trade goes all the way to take profit and you would have made a bunch of money. But you know what? You went with your gut. You stood with your rules and strategies and you said, okay, sure, that trade looked decent. I maybe should have gotten into it. But at the same time, it's like there was news coming up. Jerome Powell speaks later, or the charts are looking choppy right now, etc. And you went with your gut. Sure, it might have gone to take profit. But at the same time, you need to understand that because you went with your gut on your rules and strategies there and you maintained your capital within that specific situation, that is a win in my book. That is not an L. So yeah, that's the last thing I just wanted to end off with you guys. I hope you guys like and subscribe to the video, and I hope to see you in the next video.